Welcome to Midlife Unlimited Life for Five. I'm your host, Kate Porter, the Midlife Metamorphosis Coach, and I'm delighted to be joined by my episode 42. We are racking them up. Guest, the wonderful Sarah Tompsett, founder of Restore Wellness, to give a taste of our full length episode that's available now, wherever you listen to your podcasts. How to embody your sage as a midlife woman. So welcome, Sarah. I'm so excited to be giving a taste and sharing some golden nuggets because we covered so much in our episode, didn't we?
We really did. Yeah, it was a great conversation. Yeah.
Yeah. And I talk a lot with my guests about labels on Midlife Unlimited. And I don't just mean fabulous designer ones. I mean those labels that we have thrust upon us. And it seems by the time we get to midlife, us Gen X women, we've got so many labels that we've had stuck on us that they can get uncomfortable. It's worse than a bad pair of jeans, and and that's something when you get to midlife as well. But and one of the labels are the triple goddess, the old maiden mother crone. But I'm not ready to be a crone, and I know you're not either,
No
are you?
way. No way. No, no. And this is where I was absolutely inspired by the work of Jane Hardwicke Collins, where she brings in this
You've
fourth.
introduced, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
which is the sage. So this is the fourth rite of passage for a woman. So you've got your maiden mother sage crone, and I am here for that because this is really that stage. I think women in perimenopause into menopause, sort of the 50 to 70-year-old, we are really starting to step into our power. We start to
Mm.
embody that authenticness that has had probably a mask put on it for all those years while we've been doing all the
Have
things
we?
and
Yeah.
being the thing for everybody else. Now we can just be us.
That is so true. And I think I felt as well before. I mean, I'd had that feeling, and I must admit, the book, and the word sage, I'd heard that obviously as one of the different personality types, really, isn't it?
Yeah,
And we can go down the Jung argument or an argument debate as well. But no, I had that feeling that obviously I'm like you, and we're going to be talking about empty nesting again at the end of this as well, because you've got something exciting coming up. I've got my book coming out next year. But no, and my son, bless him, Finley, good luck starting a new job as we as we talk.
good luck,
The
Finn.
whole empty, yeah, the whole empty nesting thing, the whole, obviously I'm a mum, but my role as mum has completely metamorphosized in recent years. And I know you're feeling that as well. So you're questioning that. So yeah, okay, we're waving goodbye to that. I'm not a mother-in-law yet, but yeah, the whole mother role is changing.
Mhm.
But crone, it just doesn't sit right with me. I feel it's like a missing link. And as you so rightly pointed out, God willing, fingers crossed, universe willing, we are living longer. And
Yes.
so this chapter has evolved, really, hasn't it? That there is now a gap between the mother and the crone. And I think we're
Yeah.
not alone in well, I know we're not alone in feeling like that.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, when there's all this sort of hype, isn't there, about menopause and the change and, how it's to be feared and we start losing ourselves and all of that. And, don't get me wrong, it can feel like you're losing yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Um, but I think if we can flip it on its head and see actually the power within that change, I really see it as a kind of that we talked about it in the podcast, didn't we? The kind of going into the cocoon.
Mm,
It is that messy middle of changing from one thing to another. Our responsibilities are changing. Our identity is shifting. We're not needed in the same way that we
no,
were. But what all that means is actually we've got more time for ourselves and we can start to focus inwards and start to remember who were we actually before the vacuum of motherhood, if that was the path that was there for you, or the vacuum of putting everything into your career, or,
yeah.
all the things. We're now suddenly have this opportunity to revisit who we actually are and what did we want to achieve with life? What did we want to do? But actually coming at it with all that wonderful wisdom that we've gained through the 50 odd years of our lives so far that we can share with the generations coming behind us. So yeah, lots to be excited for.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think as well, and I love how you just mentioned them. Obviously, we talk a lot about how the demands on us and what's expected of us, etc. The dreaded shoulds, those are shifting. But
Yeah.
so too, and I feel this so strongly, our I want to say tolerance levels, our
Oh, yeah.
effort tolerance, and
Yes.
what we're willing to put up with now that we've put up for bloody ages, because we felt we had to conform, we had to behave, we had to be seen and not heard, we had to be this perfect image of how we should be as a career woman, a mother, all of that, a daughter, a friend.
Yeah.
Now it's like, no.
Yeah.
Now we actually have, as you say, the wisdom, confidence, hopefully, if not, we're nurturing
Yeah.
that by having conversations like this, by talking about these things, rather than thinking,
Yeah.
who wants
You
to
know,
listen to me?
there's
Yeah.
so much power, isn't there, in women coming together and sharing
Mhm.
their experiences. And then well, that's me as well. And you can start to realize that actually this is completely normal. But instead of but sort of hiding behind it and keeping ourselves out of society or feeling like we're put out to pasture, we're going,
Yeah.
no, actually, this is a time for us to shine. And you're so right with the not being able to put up with anymore, because of course we've got hormonal shifts happening. Of course we have. This is perimenopause. Menopause is the decline of our fertility, hence moving from the mother rite of passage into the sage. But what it's actually doing as well, in terms of our people pleasing and where we've perhaps allowed boundaries to be overstepped, with that decline in estrogen, we are not quite as people pleasing as we were before, because we literally don't have the fuel that's coming to give us that people pleasing.
And this is even, I mean, I'm a recovering people pleaser, but this
Me
is
too.
even if you're not, even if you, I'm a recovering so many things. Even if you're, even if you're not a people pleaser, you still had aspects of people pleasing,
Of
stroke,
course.
imposter syndrome
Yeah.
type. If I don't do this, fear of judgment,
Yeah.
huge one. If I
Completely.
don't do this, yes and no, scared to say no because you're worried about, well, can they do it without you? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and I don't mean in an inflated thought of our own importance. It's the, I've always done it for them.
Exactly.
If I step, and I'm not talking just kids, I'm talking about parents, I'm talking about friends, partners. If I suddenly stop doing this thing, and it could be the most stupid little thing, but if I actually take back that 10 minutes to do something for me,
Yeah.
will the world collapse? Will
Yeah.
that thing not get done?
And
If
also the guilt comes in, doesn't it? Because it's like,
oh,
well, I've never done this before. So now there's guilt for actually even resting and kind of, taking any time
and
or
we
asking for
talk
help.
about rest as well. That's one
Yeah.
of your brilliant top tips, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's not something to feel guilty about.
No, and it's really, really hard, because as women, we've been on the go, for 20, 25, 30 years, doing all the things for all the people. And suddenly we've got this decline in estrogen, so we're not going to be quite as obliging as we were, but also we don't have the energy levels anymore. And I think part of our transition through this stage is being honest with ourselves that actually we don't have that energy anymore, and that's okay. We're not supposed to, but what we do have, we need to preserve for ourselves, because it is that kind of, as we said in the podcast, that turning inwards, that self-care really needs to come to the fore now, because all of that is going to actually lead to a much smoother transition. So the symptoms of perimenopause are going to reduce if we look after ourselves better.
Yeah. And another thing that just sprung to mind again that we talk about is the whole seasons, the seasons of the year, the seasons of our life. And obviously, yes, we're still, as we record this, in a rather autumnal August, to be
Yeah.
quite honest. I know apparently it's one of the driest, and the farmers, bless them, have had, not bless them, but the poor farmers have had a really,
Yeah.
harvest is looking dreadful.
Yeah.
But I've got a jumper on. I'm
I know, I
starting.
feel a bit chilly. I've got my flip-flops on and my feet are cold.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel autumnal,
Yeah.
even though it's still summer. And as we move into the next season, and I don't just mean Q4, oh my God, and the big C word, and I mean Christmas, not any other C words.
Yeah.
But again, it's another time to start turning inwards and
It is.
looking at self-care, isn't it?
Absolutely. And autumn being on the sort of cycle of seasons, being that perimenopausal time, it is
Yeah.
that time to gather our harvest, gather all the wisdom that we've gained through the years, and to start to share that with generations coming after us, really. So it is that gathering time. And yeah.
And talking of sharing, you've announced, we talked about it briefly in the podcast, and this is a subject close to put my teeth in, a subject very close to both. I'm so excited, both our
Yeah.
hearts. So drum roll, please. Obviously, all our contact details, both yours and mine, are in the show notes for the episode and on the Midlife Unlimited podcast website. But Sarah, empty nesting, you have just announced some very exciting dates. I will say over to you to tell everyone what this is about, because it's very
Yeah.
timely.
Of course. So last year, my daughter went off to university, and I knew it was going to hit me, but I wasn't prepared for how it actually did hit me when it happened. I was a bit of a mess. I don't mind admitting it. Every time we went shopping, we went to IKEA, we got, all the things that they need to set them up. I would just have tears coming, to the point where in the end, both my kids were like, "Oh, Mum, are you going to go again?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I am, because it's just coming." So what I wanted to do this year is actually give something back to the women who I know will be in the position that I was in. And I'm offering 3 free sessions called The Mother's Heart. And it's all about supporting women to go through what you and I went through, Kate, with our kids going off to uni, and that kind of wrench that we're left with, the kind of the
I've
empty
got a book.
nesting.
I'm going to be interviewing you for my book, because
Yes.
I've come up with a plan, and it is so important. So important.
Brilliant. And we need to talk about it more, because,
Yeah.
people in society, people, friends that even will be like, "Oh, they're not that far away. They're going to come back at weekends." But my God, if you feel it like I did, you really feel it. And it doesn't matter if they're down the road. The fact is, they're not in your house. You've got an empty room, and suddenly your baby has flown the nest. And it's hard. So I've got The Mother's Heart coming up. 3 sessions, 1 hour each, on the 8th of September, the 22nd, and the 6th of October, just 7 o'clock in the evening. Just inviting any mums in this position to come into a safe space and share your experiences and feel held and supported from somebody who's been there and come out the other side. So
yeah, and you're gonna send me the link, or you just have.
I
I'm
am.
gonna be there.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be there as a mum. I'm not going to be there in a professional capacity at all. I'm just going to be there because I think these conversations need having. And as you say, every mum's and dad's experience is different. But the worst thing is that feeling that a week after they've gone, a month after they've gone, 6 months after they've gone, feeling the feels and thinking no one's going to want to know about how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
And that is, that's tough. When you think
really
people are bored of me no, we're not. We're not bored about it.
Yeah.
And I'm delighted. I'm very excited about this.
Yes.
So yeah, in the meantime, we'll make sure that your links in the show notes go through, so anyone wanting to find out more can do that. And obviously go and look at the website as well, Midlife Unlimited podcast, where you've got details of my Midlife Metamorphosis coaching. Right, well, I'm so excited about this, and I look forward to us having a chat as well, to do some background research for my new book, which will be coming out next year. You've heard it now, it's going to happen. Your Empty Nest Epiphany, a beginner's guide to bird launching, is coming. So thank you so much, Sarah, for joining me to give a taste of our episode.
Thank you, Kate.
Available now wherever you listen to your podcasts. Go and put the kettle on. Go and listen. You listened to it this morning on your dog walk, didn't you?
I did.
So there you go.
Yes, I did.
Perfect. I'm glad you did, because not all my guests do. Some of my guests are like, no. They're like actors not wanting to watch a film that they're in.
Yeah, I've got to check what I said.
Anyway, go and listen now. Enjoy it. We'd love your feedback. You can also buy me a coffee if you've enjoyed it. I've just set that up. My other half said, "Why haven't you done that?" So yeah, you can click that button too. Thank you for joining me, Sarah. Thank you for watching. And here's to living Midlife Unlimited. Take care. Talk to you soon, Sarah. Bye.